everywhere. Harry Douglas in for Key and Jay today. Morning, Harry.
Good morning. Gotta adjust my mic like I'm in the booth, Max, you know?
Yeah, always. I do that all. Key makes fun of me. He's like, oh, why are you touching the mic? Because it's not, you gotta get it right.
Gotta get it right. Position in the right way, right manner. So I can spit this knowledge today, Max, because, we got a lot of knowledge to spit today.
A lot, man. A lot. First of all, Justin Herbert last night, what's his name? The D tackle was,
Christian Wilkins.
Wilkins was, that's a game wrecker right there,
He
man.
was trying to be on him like white on rice.
It was unbelievable. But Justin Herbert, that boy good. He's good, man. Because Harry, we already know he can throw the ball down the field, right? He's electric. He's, to me, the guy you put your eyes on. You're like, oh, last time I felt that way when I was just watching a guy throw was Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen has a bigger arm than anybody, but somehow I'm just talking about, overall arm electricity or talent or something.
I know exactly what you mean.
Just felt different. So what you really want to see from Herbert, for me, is a game like that. You got to get rid of the ball quick, constantly make quick decisions. Collinsworth pointed it out on the broadcast. Basically, they're telling him, Justin, you got to make the first guy miss because they're coming.
Well, and it's very imperative because a team like the Miami Dolphins, from a defensive perspective, they're going to bring pressure, right? They're going to try to put you in some adverse situations and force you to get rid of the ball, force you to make errant throws. But Justin Herbert last night, man, from using his athleticism, eluding pressure, but being able to throw on the run, being able to throw across his body, and be as accurate in doing so, and had his most completions in a ball game throughout his career, which was 39, and had a hell of a game that the Chargers needed, a game that I thought he needed, a game that organization really needed to keep their playoff hopes alive. But he outshined Tua Tagovailoa last night.
Yeah, he always talks about, Keyshawn Johnson's formula for winning. Very Bill Parcells. Very right. It's drop back 24 times. Complete 17 passes. Don't throw any picks, and maybe you throw a touchdown. You rung one in. Let the defense do their job. That's how the complimentary football. You win more times than there are very few quarterbacks. Drop back 40 times and let's win. That's hard.
Well,
but Herbert's one of those guys.
He's one of those guys. But I will tell you, Max, in the National Football League, I can probably count on one hand of quarterbacks that you can have, games like that multiple times.
Right.
Now, you don't want to do it for an entire season, and it's just probably two or three that maybe been able to do it throughout the history of the National Football League.
Him, Mahomes, and if you had Aaron Rodgers, guys like that. But that's what I'm saying. That's the type of talent that Herbert has. So a game like that he wins because a lot of those short, quick passes simulate the run. A game like
Substitute
that
for the run game.
Yeah, that tells you something about Herbert that you want to know, right? You already know the high-end talent. Now, can he do this kind of stuff? And he did it last night.
And I'll tell you, one person on their football team from an offensive perspective that I think is not appreciated throughout the media and just amongst the football gods, period, it's Austin Eckler. Because when you have a running back that can receive the football out of the backfield like he does, and you're just not going to bring down with one guy, and he can make guys miss in space, but then he's tough enough and strong enough to rush the football from the backfield as well, it pays huge dividends for this football team because there's been a lot of times this season where Austin Eckler has been the safety valve and that safety net for Justin Herbert throughout games.
It's funny because some guys, for whatever reason, get categorized in their own little category and aren't considered the best at what they do. So, for example, Tyreek Hill a lot was not included when people would talk about the best receiver in the game because he almost felt special teamsy, even though he's a real receiver, but he's so fast. Eckler also is not usually, when you hear about the best backs in the game, he's kind of put off to the side, but it's really not fair to him. I remember having Marty Schottenheimer on a show I did on Fox Sports back in the day, Fox Sports Net, called IMAX, okay? Mm-hmm. This is going back 20 years, legit. It's probably 02, something like that, 03. And he comes on and tells me LaDainian Tomlinson's the best running back of all time. And I'm thinking, come on, man. And I started to think about it, and I thought, he has a point. What doesn't he do? You can line him up. You could split him out wide. You could do all types of stuff. Eckler is one of these guys. You could do anything you want.
And it's crazy you brought up LaDainian Tomlinson because he was actually at that game last night. I just talked to him at the Big 12 championship game when TCU was playing Kansas State. And I know he's a big fan of Austin Eckler just because of the way he plays the game. And for a guy who is undersized in a lot of people's eyes, that's why I always tell people, don't necessarily worry about your size. If you can play, especially in today's game, scouts and GMs, those guys are going to find you. And in the right system, you're going to be able to thrive like Austin Eckler is.
Meantime, Tua, another thing that Key has been talking about that a lot of people have been going at him about is Tua. Because you know how when it doesn't matter if you ask questions about a guy, people can smell it underneath. Do you think this guy is as good as we think he is, better or worse, right? So like if you sniff me out, I think Mahomes is even better than a lot of people think he is, right? Like you can just tell. Or someone else, Kirk Cousins isn't, even though I like Kirk Cousins is growing on me, but most people think he's probably better than I think he is, right? Yeah. You can just sniff it out. But Key's whole thing was, let's wait to see, not just Tua, but this Miami offense, see if it's portable. Let me see them do it in the cold weather. Not that San Francisco's cold, but you got the wind and stuff and tough defense. And let's see it. Let's see them take it on the road. They have this road trip. They stayed on the West Coast. Oh, they're going to beat. I thought the Chargers were going to win this game, and they did wind up with. Now they got Buffalo next week. So is Tua getting exposed in some way? Tua Tagovailoa, do you feel like defenses have figured you guys out?
I would say the defenses that we've played have been playing exactly what we've expected them to play, that they've put on film. It really just goes back to the details of how we play our offense, and we're not all dialed in with that. So we have to go back to the drawing board, figure this out. Gotta keep from losing. I mean, it sucks.
Tua has been very accurate this year. He has he's withstood, it looked to me like two big neurological events that affected him, right?
Yeah.
Like where maybe, is he still going to play? Is he going to have a career? All that. And he kept playing inspirational, maybe not wise, but inspirational. But after this last little two-step they did, has your opinion of him changed at all, Harry?
Just a tiny bit, but I think it's more so because I think defenses have been able to understand that, okay, if we can minimize Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, our chances are going to be a lot higher to win a football game, and that's what you've seen from the San Francisco 49ers last week, and that's also what you've seen from the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday. And the reason why I say that is because it's not like the run game has been bona fide. And I understand Mike McDaniel, that's his baby, the run game. But you look at the run stats from the last three games, Max. Against the Houston Texans, 26 carries for 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Against the 49ers, 8 carries for 33 yards. Last night, 19 carries for 92 yards. So they're basically been one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And when you have guys that are short, fast, quick in space, that can get open just about at any time, unless a defense really, really focus on those guys and you don't give them free access off the line of scrimmage. And when I mean free access, you can't let people like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill just have a run and start against your defense. I don't care who you have out there. You have to chuck those guys, get your hands on them, make things difficult, make the quarterback pat the ball, and all kind of things of that nature.
Miami lost. The Chargers win 23-17, but that's deceptive because the Chargers punched the ball out. Tyreek Hill happens to wind up with it and then takes it to the house, right? but really, that 23-17 probably should have been, if not for that one freaky deaky play.
No, two. The 60-yard touchdown.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
two plays.
That's right. But I mean, with that Hill play in particular, where the Chargers did something positive, should have wound up with possession, and instead they lose a touchdown. It's probably something at least like 26-10. It's really more of that kind of game. All right. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Harry Douglas in for Key and Jay today. Meantime, Brock Purdy. Purdy good. That's coming up.